Normally, all meetings, seminars in Ladakh would happen in the summers at this time, because people would say, winters are too cold, summers are nice. And summer is one time when people have to work for the whole year in a place like Ladakh. So we thought of making a place where winters and summers wouldn't matter. Winters would be as pleasant. And winters are a time when people don't know what to do with that time. Therefore, we wanted to create a place that where technology and tradition would meet, where traditions would be brought to life again, and technology could make it so convenient, comfortable that winter could be as nice as summer. So when we designed and built this, we did lots of trainings, seminars, projects, meetings, and so on. And whether it is village leaders, teachers, youth, they would all happily come here. It's a design strategy, not designing just the buildings, but designing the whole how society works, how seasons affect people's use of time, and intervening that with your technical design. We had to redo everything. We redid all the textbooks and contextualizing the whole curriculum. If it is wild animals, then you start with wild animals that you see here. You don't start with elephants. You get to elephants, yes, but you start with yaks and snow leopards, and then finally get to elephants also. So same with every other thing. We retrained all the teachers. We regrouped all the communities, parents, villagers, to unite them into organizations called village education committees that take charge of the school, that because they are united has a loud voice that politicians cannot ignore, all those things. And parallelly, we have been very much into bringing reforms in schools in Ladakh, in education. What's your name? What's your name? Ladakhis, being a minority, schools do a lot of damage to our children. Schools that are transplanted, that are parachuted from Delhi or London into mountains of 13,000, 11,000 feet. People who don't speak that language, understand those problems, have their own different problems. Suddenly you are pushed into these classrooms, talked about problems that you don't have and not the problems that you do have, and then they fail and they are blamed for being dumb. So we were working in bringing reforms in all government schools in Ladakh, because the failure rate in schools every year, 95% failed and people took it lying down. But we knew that failure will reduce, which it did. In 7 years it became 50% only from 95, and now it is like 20-25% today. But there will still be so-called failures, and those failures are not really failures. They are very good people. Sometimes they fail because they are maybe very original. They think differently, or they are very honest. They don't cheat, and you fail them. Your system fails. So we wanted a sanctuary, a school, a nursery for those who failed this so-called government system, and this is run as a alternative school for those so-called failures, and still it does that role. It's not a very specific Secmol brand of methodologies. It's all based on common sense and empathy, understanding their issues and their concerns. So this campus, one way of learning is to treat this island of in the desert as a little country. So the students run this little country. They form a government every 2 months, a government with 2 months term. They elect a leader of the campus. The elected leader then makes sure everything runs, and each student gets a portfolio of responsibilities. These are ways where you learn life skills in real life context. After, when they leave this place, because people know that they would have some skills, they would know how to communicate, how to plan, how to execute, be diligent. The minimum level of success is if a person who is being here is upright, with integrity, with conviction, is not corrupt, does not cheat others, and then lives a very simple life, that's already very successful. Becomes a farmer, but an innovative farmer, very fine. Beyond that, then they do other things, that's fine also, but these are the very basic, and they spread those values by being who they are. We are now working on setting up a university up there in the desert, a university that will be very different, and that's what we are designing.